Hi, Angel. Making sure.
Good morning.
Good morning. We're recording today. It's Wednesday, July 8th. Sherry, which link are you looking for?
For the Blueprint 2.0.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll send that over. I'm going to put it in some housekeeping as folks are
Thank you.
joining now. I just love how slow everything is today. Gonna let everyone kind of get in. Good morning. Good morning. All right, we're gonna do a couple of things this morning. Gonna turn this off. Welcome, welcome. So thanks to everyone who was able to join yesterday. I did send out the replay to those who registered. And I have said you had to register in order to get a copy of that, but I'm trying to see if anyone is interested who didn't get a chance to register for yesterday's class. I hope you all found that helpful. I've gotten some really good feedback from it. And the idea and the goal is to get you into production. And I had my coaching call this morning about that and about, the shiny penny object, making sure that the shiny penny object is not in play, as for many of us, it is, right? So just a couple of, for those who are joining now, just a couple of things that you found helpful from yesterday's call. Let us know. What was it?
I think just for me, it's just having a structure. Like having it on paper helps me because I'm a structured person. So this is going to help me stay organized. Um, and I mean, it's just very helpful. And I'm excited to get started. And I am excited to see that social media, I've kind of been doing what you suggested in here. But I just haven't reaped any major benefits from it. But that's okay. I know you just
It
have to
takes
keep doing
time.
it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you have to keep doing it. It takes time. But then, and the other thing too, on top of it, like taking time, because I'm very impatient.
Yeah, me too.
Like very, very impatient. Now, the thing about all of it taking time, it doesn't have to. When it hits, it hits, right? And we know that those are things that happen. So I'm just trying to pull something up for you all quick. And you know that as we are going through all of this, you're learning, you're doing better. Even though people aren't responding to you, they're watching. And I get a lot of messages from folks who are like, I like what you're doing. And I'm like, yeah, but you never like or share a post.
Exactly.
No
Exactly. I
way for
mean,
me to know that.
yeah, I get that too. I was with a past client recently, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, your social media is awesome." And I'm
I,
like, "Well, say something."
you're like, hello, any
Yeah,
day now, can you just let me know
yeah,
why you think it's awesome?
yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, what else would you like to see? And that's actually a video that you could put out. Like, hey, a lot of you have been telling me you like what I'm doing. Share with me if you like to see something different.
Oh, and Felicia, one other thing about social media. I like what you said. Well, actually, it was my aha. When you said, don't just post about seniors. You need to post about everything. And although I was starting to not post about other things. It was just, even if I posted about my dogs, it was relating to seniors having that companionship with a pet.
Yeah.
And so with you saying that yesterday, it just made me kind of back away from, okay, it doesn't always have to be about the 55 plus demographic. It can just be in general because I'm trying to attract the adult children too.
Yeah. And look, at the end of the day, you can attract them all if you have a well-rounded social media platform. Now, I'm not telling you to go and do, you know, golf one day, luxury the next day, first time home buyers the next day. You got to niche it down. You can do multi-generational living, talking about upsizing your home, talking about right sizing your home. You can talk about the good buys that are out there right now. And this is another lead magnet. The good buys for seniors who are selling their homes for those who want to move up, because there's a lot of inventory with that, right? Inventory aplenty everywhere I go, everywhere I hear, all the sites that I'm on, everyone's talking about the same thing. I'm holding on to my listings for too long. I have so much inventory. I've never had 10 listings before, and they're not moving. So there's a lot of good buys out there. And for move up buyers, it's like plethora of options for you. Huge, 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 huge. So I'm glad that you had that aha. That's important to me. And it's important that you all are able to learn from our class yesterday, because that is what is very, very important to me. Couple of housekeeping things. We want to start out with housekeeping. In the chat, there's a couple of you asked for the blueprint for 2.0. It's in there. And each of you has a code that was emailed to you. If you need your code for because I'm extending the discount for it, just write blueprint in the chat and I will make sure to get you your right code, okay? Because you might have a different code from someone else. Make sure you join the Facebook group. We're trying to get this Facebook group up to 1,000 people. We're at like 550 right now. The Facebook group's really only been open since April. So that's in there, and share it with other agents in your office or that you know who want to grow within this area. This senior referral map locator is in there, and I'm launching more stuff on there. So if you're not in on your area, now is the time to get in there because it's getting ready to blow up. And all of our replays from today, from the Wednesday call, are on our YouTube page. So go and check out our YouTube page, like it, follow it, subscribe, all these different words for all these different things. Follow us on there. So if you want the replays, they're there. So that is what's important. I'm trying to see who's on the call right now. Rochelle had a question yesterday, but I'd like to see if she can join today to review her question. But at the end of the day, we are here to answer questions for you, give you some guidance for what's happening in the world of senior living and seniors themselves. So I have a question for you all. When you go to do your CEUs every year to renew, or every 2 years, what is your state requirement? How many hours of continuing education do you need to keep your license in order? Tell me where you are, and if you, because Florida is 14 hours every 2 years. Texas is 18 hours. Is it every year or every 2 years? Melissa, every 2. Anyone else? Ohio is 30 hours every 3 years. I have a method to this. North Carolina is 8 hours yearly. Nice. I like that. Wyoming. Oof. Wyoming is 24 every 3 years. No, that's Colorado. Wyoming is 50 every 3 years. Washington is 30. Is it annual in Washington? or biannual?
Every 2 years. And I think that's the amount. I want to say it's 45. I'm looking it up because I forget
Okay.
because I know it's a lot, but I'll get back to you. But it's every
So in Florida, post licensing, post you get your license. So say I'm a brand new agent, I have to do 45 hours this year. Like, you have to get it in. And then it is 14 hours every 2 years. Now, for those of you who've been in real estate for a long time, how many of your CEUs actually talk about the senior demographic and elder abuse? And the adult children taking advantage of their parent? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's a method to my madness for what I'm doing. I'm on like a warpath. So financial advisors have to do 3 hours for their CEU of elder abuse. Okay, Washington State is 30 hours every 2 years. Okay, 2 years. Got it. Mortgage lenders don't have to do any of this. Real estate agents don't have to do any of this. But we talk about law, ethics, the golden rule, right? We talk about all of that fun stuff. So I'm making an observation because I'm on my new warpath. So I'm here to change the world, ladies in real estate, ladies and gentlemen, as we know it. It's just something that I'm taking some notes on. So when I was speaking with my mortgage lender, this is what they said to me. If you wanted to go and buy a house, I'm sending you an email link over to your computer, and you're inputting all of that info, sending it back. He said, I have no idea if you're doing it or your adult child's doing it or your husband's doing it or your kids are doing it. He's like, I have no idea. And I was like, It just gets my mind thinking, right? And then you all have heard of the case that we had here in Naples where it was a few months after they closed, and the son contested the closing because the seller had moderate stage dementia and they reversed and redacted that closing and made the buyers move out. How many times have you heard of that happening? Because I've never heard of that happening before. But in theory, it could happen. And then everyone got sued. Everyone that was part of that transaction got sued. From the agent, the brokerage, the title company, the lender, everybody got sued. So it's something that I'm thinking that we need to really, really hone in on and focus on. Because if we think about it, working with our seniors are a protected class, right? There's a lot of elder abuse that happens. And we want to make sure that someone is not, when I mean someone, an adult child, a family member is not taking advantage of that senior to sell that property so that they can get the $1 million profit they have out of it, right? And as real estate agents, I think that it's hard for us to be able to gauge that and see that. But there's going to be red flags, right? You're going to see some red flags happening. But then what do you do with it? So it's just something I'm thinking about to protect our license, right? Because we have our license and fiduciary responsibility that we have to protect. But it's no different than moving someone into senior living. When we move folks into senior living, we had to make sure that they were the ones signing, not their kids. Because the child, the adult child, could not sign a senior living agreement unless they were declared incapable and incapacitated to sign that agreement. Just because you have a power of attorney doesn't mean that you have the ability to move your parent into senior living. So that was a very hard line that we had, and the state would do audits on that for us. How many of you all knew that? And we had to, in the state of Florida, we need to have 2 letters of incompetence from a doctor, not 1. In the state of Connecticut, we had 1. So it's very protected. Seniors are a protected class down here because there's so many, right? Florida is leading the way with the number of seniors that live here. Now, how do you think this helps you with a real estate transaction? Because we have to sell real estate, right? How do you think all of this knowledge helps you? Don't be shy. Tell me what you think.
I think there's instances where, I mean, a lot of times seniors, depending on their age, would rather sign in person anyway. So taking the time to have them sign, even if it's digitally, but having it there in front of them is just, you then have proof that you met with them. It's not just something that was sent off.
Yeah, absolutely. Signing in person is a big thing. Now, the only time I don't have them sign in person is if they're not in this state, obviously.
Sure.
It's a little challenging. And we know that we have a fiduciary responsibility against that and making sure that we're helping them through the whole process. How many of you have thought about this? Because we're going to be doing a seminar on this for our Blueprint students. First-time home seller seminars. How many of you have thought about doing that? Okay. We're going to be hosting a seminar for our Blueprint members, and then I'm going to open that up to non-Blueprint members, but you would have to pay a small fee to attend that webinar. And we're going to be doing that within the next month so that you can start planning for your down season, right? To get folks in to do that, because you're going to want to partner with certain folks to make that go off without a hitch. That's number 1. Number 2, you want to be able to have the right resources for people because you should be doing this on repeat. And it should be a lead magnet for you to find folks who are ready to move now. Not 5 years from now, not 2 years from now. Now, are you going to get those people who attend? Absolutely. Is it going to be my recommendation that you weed out every single person who attends and make sure they're not another agent attending your first-time seller seminar? Yeah, you should. Absolutely. Because you're here to help your adult child, your empty nesters, your right-sizing folks that are looking. You're here to help multiple folks figure out this whole piece. So we're going to give you kind of the do's and don'ts, a structure for the webinar, a presentation to edit for the webinar, and then all of your marketing materials, including how are you going to check them in, how are you going to follow up with them, your Facebook group page, or your event page outline for that, and how you're going to collect all of the data in there, and including some follow-up postcards. Okay, so it's going to be a whole robust webinar workshop for you. And we're going to, like I said, probably have that on within the next month. And it's something that I have been working on myself for our community. How many of you would be interested in something like that?
Can I ask a question, Felicia? What made you target first-time home buyers? Like, I'm trying to understand like the thought process behind that.
First-time home sellers.
Oh, first-time home sellers. Okay, thank
Because
you. That
many
makes
of these
sense.
people
Yeah,
have not sold a home, and it's going to be named first-time home seller,
love
but
it.
you're going to hone in on, yeah, you might be a first-time home seller in this state. Maybe you sold a home in Michigan and now you live in South Carolina. Guess what? The game changes from state to state. And I'm
Exactly.
not going to
Well,
know what that is. But I do know that it is vastly different to sell a home in New York State than anywhere else in the damn world. And I know that because I lived in Connecticut and I have a lot of my cousins and my friends are agents. And I'm like, you mean to tell me that even when you have an accepted offer, it's not accepted? The attorney, you waiting on the attorney to set the closing date? It's insane. You got to wait on
I
the.
think that's great because people have been in their homes for so long. Maybe when they purchased it, their husbands, if it's a woman selling the home, she was never involved in the process, depending on how long ago that was. So, and so much has changed. Okay, I love it. Thank you for clarifying.
So much has changed. Now, remember, I get a lot of things from my experience. When my mother-in-law's husband passed away, my husband's stepfather, and they were married for 18 years. She didn't know how to write a check. She didn't do it. He did it. And then they would go, and this was only, he passed away when I was pregnant with my daughter. So this was only like 15 and a half years ago that this happened. Okay. This wasn't like 30 years ago. This was in the day of the internet and online bill pay. They would spend his day off taking all of their checks with all of their bills and driving around to the power company, to the internet company, to the cable company, and dropping them off and paying them in person. And when my husband took over her finances, he was like, Ma, this is insane. Like, how does this happen? She's like, well, I don't know how to use the computer. And neither did, her husband that passed away. So we didn't want to mail it because if it gets lost in the mail, and then the bill's not paid, and then we don't have water, we don't have power, this is what we did. And he was like, you would spend 6 hours every month driving around? And she's like, yeah, that's what we did. And he was like, no, no, no. He's like, I'm taking your finances over just to help, And so he's been doing her finances ever since then and does the online bill pay and, pays with a credit card what he can so she gets points and then pays that off, trying to help her leverage everything. So these things happen. And Frankie said, I literally used to do that if I didn't put it in the mail. Yes. And I think that's what we used to do. In today's day and age, we don't have to do that, right? And Lori said, my mom didn't know how to write a check either when my dad passed away. Same time frame. This is the same thing. When we're talking to, and I have a client right now. They've never sold a home in Florida. They've owned that home for 17 years, but they've sold 6 homes in other states. And every time we're going through the process right now, because we're under contract, and it's like, okay, this is the next, because I don't tell them everything up front. I'm like, okay, this is our next step, because it's going to overwhelm them. They're in their 80s, but they're very savvy. And I'm like, okay, now after we're done with this step, now we have this step. And I'm like, I'm going to keep you in the loop, but I don't want to overwhelm you. And we're teaching them how this can be a smooth transaction, but it's much different than North Carolina, or I think they're from Michigan, if memory serves me correct, but that doesn't matter. So helping set those expectations is going to set you up aside from everyone else. Now, are you going to get people outside of your area who are going to need to sell? Absolutely. And this is where referral agreements come into play. So you better come up with what your referral structure is going to be like and start partnering with some folks across the nation. Now, up above, I do have the referral finder in there for you. And I'm going to see if it's working right now. So with the referral finder, just make sure it published. Give me a moment, and I'm going to see. So I'm going to show you what I'm working on to push the referral finder out bigger and better than ever, because this is where you can find people. Where's my share button? In a market when you need to. Now I'm showing you something that I haven't unveiled to anyone else yet. So know that there's going to be kinks that have to be worked out. And what we're doing, just make sure this is published. What I'm doing right now is I'm forcing people to come here. So our clicks are higher, right? But we need to get referrals. This is just a shiny penny if it doesn't bring you referrals. So I created, after doing research, I'm praying it's going to work. It's updating. So this is America's 25 best places to retire. It's updating right now. So it updates. So remember, I'm going to teach you all how to use Lovable. I started creating this last night at 8 p.m. And if I can get it to work. Here we go. Look at this, much prettier. They can download a free retirement guide. They can explore retirement destinations. My map has to connect to Google APIs, so I have to work on that today. Now, when they go on here, this is huge for everyone. You got beach living, golf, luxury, budget retirement, healthcare, outdoor, arts, and 55 and over. So what is their category that they are interested in? And these are the top 25, well, it's 24 destinations. Frankie, raise your hand. Yes, Frankie.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. I apologize. I
No, you're fine.
I've been researching and looking at Lovable. I like it, but I looked at some of the Q&A on there. I'm not understanding the credits. I don't understand how that works.
We're going to have a separate class on this because I'm going to have a specialist come on who's way above me on how to understand those credits because I get 5 credits free a day and then they reset each month. So we're going to talk about that at a separate time because it is a little confusing. And I'm learning myself. So these are, according to the research that I've done, the top places. I'm going to add a 25 because I like 25. So these are the top places to retire across the US. Do any of these look familiar to you? Are any of these in your market? Just going through, we got Boise, Oregon, Savannah, Alabama, Virginia, Delaware.
I don't see Ohio
Of
on
course,
that list.
Oklahoma is not there.
Yes. So that's the thing is what we're starting with is the top 25. So this is beta testing, right? This is where we're beta testing things to get to drive people to the website. So why are these the top 25 places? Well, this is where it's got to get updated. You got beach living, it's the golf capital of the world, it's luxury, and it's the pickleball capital of the world, right? And then so I'm in the process of updating these, okay? So say we need to figure out, what does all this mean? What does it mean to live here? This is your population for the city of Naples, median age, median income, median home price, property tax per year, monthly budget, cost of living, sunny days, walkable score, airport, healthcare, safety. Then why? Pros and cons. I could tell you it is humid here in the summer. We're dying, but it's okay. We have to deal with it for a few months and then we have beautiful weather. Lifestyle, housing options, senior living resources, local housing market, and then listings will be here and of course I live in Naples. So our featured listings will pop up for our team's listings. You can get a personalized Naples relocation guide. You can schedule a consultation with our team, right? And I'm working on this for the top 25 places. And like in Sarasota is a lot more affordable to live than Naples. Still high at 505,000. Property tax is a little bit higher. So what do you do with this property tax here in Florida? So in Florida, you pay taxes on the price of your home, not on the taxes that were before. So how Florida makes their money is some people pay, $2,000 a year for taxes. But now that house sold, let's just say for $1 million. Our calculation, it depends on the county that you're in, but like in Naples, you have to do the assessed rate, which is around 80% of the sale price, so say 800,000, and then you times that by 1%, that's going to be your price of your home. Now we have homestead, we have other exemptions, widow, senior, veteran, all of that fun stuff. But when I tell people that's the calculation, this right here, this 0.86% of the year per year is the median home price times the 0.86% is going to give you your taxes for the year. That's for the state of Florida. I know that because I live here, and that's how we kind of calculate that out. Now, where to retire? Why retire here? Lifestyle, housing options. We will be loading this with an exclusive advisor for that territory. It's only going to be one per territory where you can put your info, your team's info, all of your listings that are there, and then all of the leads that come in for this market will come directly to you. So we're working on this. Got the villages. We got Charleston, South Carolina, Bluffton, Greenville, South Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina. We have our halfback states. Wilmington, Chattanooga, Franklin, Tennessee, right outside of Nashville. It's a really beautiful place to live. Knoxville, Arizona. So we have all of these, and we're working on this because why? It's a lead magnet driver to get people to come here to get the information that they need. I mean, look at the median home price in Savannah, Georgia. Much different than Oregon, right? I didn't know that until we started doing all this research. And this is a way for us to explore there. There also will be a cost to compare where you live now compared to where you want to live. What is it going to look like on an annual basis from you, from your healthcare, from your house costs, electric, everything. And then there's a retirement quiz as well. Do you all think that this is something that can help drive business to you? Trying to see if I can't see everyone's face. This is something that we're working on. And then as we work on this, America's top 25 places to retire, then we will be working out all of the states and all of the state regions within those states, right? So that for you, like I know Tamara's on here, you're up in the Rochester area, right?
Yeah,
So
that's what I was going to say. What do I do if my state's not on there?
Yes. So it's like instead of your city, it's going to be your region.
Okay.
So it's like it's how the state is broken down into regions. Like in Florida, we got the regions here. You got the Panhandle, you got the North area, you got the Orlando area, like, theme park area. And then you have South Florida, Southwest Florida. So it's like you have your different regions. But this is where we're going with this so that everybody has the ability to have some resources utilizing this for webinars for first-time home sellers, right? You will be when you do claim a territory, there is a financial cost to that. You have the ability for that financial cost to share that with your mortgage lender with your title company, with whoever you have on your bod as part of your dream team for resources for your market. Does that make sense? Just as you would for a flyer that goes out or a postcard that goes out, think of this as your digital footprint, your digital postcard. I saw a hand raised, but I can't.
It was mine, Felicia.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, so Georgia, yes, we are divided into 5 regions. However, people don't think of Georgia by region like they do in Florida. We focus more on counties.
Mhm.
So I cover Gwinnett County and North Fulton. Not even all of Fulton, because Fulton is a very large county. And I was just looking at my bio and everything, and it says Grayson, which is where I live. That's in Gwinnett. Most people are not looking to move to Grayson, Georgia. So, how would I be able to change that to get the most out of it?
So that's a really good point. Region areas are specific. You have to tell me that. And now, by the end of today, I will
Mhm.
email you and you will be able to put the counties that you cover after your area that you live in, right?
Yeah. And I did put like all the different cities and areas that I
Oh,
cover,
it
which
has
is
to be
like
county. It's got to be the
the
county for
county.
you. It's got to
Okay.
be the county.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
like, take for instance for us,
Yeah.
2 counties. I have Collier and Lee.
Mm-hmm.
I don't cover anything outside of that
Mm-hmm.
because it's all of Southwest Florida, but the MLS changes.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I would have to pay another $1,000 a year to get the next county up for me. Is that
Mm-hmm.
going to make sense for me right now when there's no income for that county coming in? No.
Yeah.
It's going to make more sense for me to partner with someone and get them on my team to service that area.
Right. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Englewood.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I don't go up there. I have a friend that lives up there. I can tell you how to get to the beach. That's it. Siesta Key. But I don't know anything. And so
Right.
that's where it's like you have to be able to do this, but you got to tell me
Okay.
how
Okay.
you want it structured because it's literally a click and a button and I can work on it. Sometimes it's not as
Awesome.
simple as that. And then I
Okay.
like you could see like this took me a second to make sure the pictures all showed up properly and it wasn't just a white background.
Yeah.
But this is where we're beta testing this out. So it's the ideal time for you to
Mm-hmm.
get in at a lower amount, just like we beta tested the blueprint. Because as you could tell, I'm on a mission globally for this. Ain't stopping with this right now. So I'm on a huge mission to push this forward to make us have a very large footprint across the US for how we serve our retirees and our seniors. And you're getting in at a time and something that has never been done before. So this is very exciting, and I'm really excited to be able to share it with you all. But this is going to morph into something much larger than just these 25 cities. We have to start somewhere. I can't just do the whole country at once. we have to we have to work kinks out. So it's going to be rolled out, like I had told you in the beginning, in different phases. So now we're moving on to our phases right now, where this by the end of the year, I can see by the end of the year us having all 50 states up and running. But it takes a village, and I have to start reaching out to Lovable, just like Frankie was asking, because I'm like, geez, I paid for all of these credits and I don't have enough right now. So I'm like, how do I keep doing this, right? How do I keep scaling and getting all of this done? Because I'm moving faster than I have credits. Put it that way. So I'm like, okay, I keep buying them, I keep buying them, I keep buying them, I buy them. I'm like, can I just buy 1,000 credits and like just give them to me all at once? Because I'm blowing through them. But at the end of the day, this is so much nicer than anything I could have ever done on Wix or paid someone to do for me. And it's still a heck like a third of the cost. So that's why I definitely believe in this product. Um, do any of you cover any of these areas? I'm going to go through them all again. So we got Sarasota, Venice, Fort Myers, the Villages, Charleston, South Carolina, Bluffton, Hilton Head, Greenville, Asheville, Wilmington, Chattanooga, Franklin, Tennessee. I know Alyssa does. Knoxville, Tennessee. I think Helen does. Scottsdale, Arizona, and Prescott area. I think Scottsdale, Arizona. I think Linda is in that area. Tucson. I don't know how this made it. I'm just telling you right now. If you've ever been to Tucson, I'm confused. Georgetown, Texas, San Antonio, Texas, Boise, Idaho, Oregon, Bend, Oregon. It's beautiful. Savannah, Georgia, Huntsville, Alabama, Williamsburg, Virginia. I was born there. Ray Booth Beach, Delaware. So we are looking for folks in this area, and I'm going to go to our map to see who's in these areas and see how we can push this out. But it's a really cool idea. We got to, like I said, we got to start somewhere, and we have to ensure that we're giving some great tools. How could you use this? Easy. Once the guide is up and ready for you to be able to download and share, it's a great lead magnet for you because people are selling their homes. And the reason why these are the best places to retire to is because people are moving to them from all over the country. So it sparks interest. And people are going to say, well, I don't want to move to any of those places. I just want to move from this place in Georgia to closer to Atlanta for a healthcare region, right? Or my kids or my family. So it's a conversation starter. It's also things that you can use for social media. It doesn't always have to be about care and seniors. It has to be something that you're giving of value. Is anyone that you know giving value like this on any social media that you've seen? Think about that. You're providing a much higher level value. Yes, you can talk about all the things that make your area beautiful. The top reasons why people move to Rochester, New York, Tamara, from snowmobiling to lake retreats. And because I have family that lives up in from Binghamton to Syracuse, right? So why did they live up there? They like to cross country ski. They like the snow. Oh, not me. They like to ice skate. They like to go and do snowmobile rides and, do pub crawls and snowmobiles. Yes, that's a thing.
Well, I'm in the Finger Lakes region as well, so that's the lakes.
Minneapolis, yeah, the Finger Lakes. I have family in Minneapolis.
Mhm.
Beautiful. And those are second homes, right? Why are
Mhm.
people buying second homes there? How are they offsetting their income with that second home income or using it for their families? There's all reasons that we can fill our social media up with once a month, once a week, twice a month, whatever you want to do to talk about why people live and thrive in your market. It's not all bad. Because right now, one of my agents sent me something last night that made my eyes go, what? Breaking news. 1 in 7 homes for sale in America is located in Florida, a state with only negative 8% of the homes of the nation's homes. For the Florida for sale market is flashing warning signs. Okay. So I don't know if you could see this. No, you can't. Let me see if I can stop my screen share.
If you hold it down, like kind of in front of you so that it stays in front of your body, it may show.
There we go. It's all red and purple, right?
Yep.
And they're like, oh my God. And I go, this is the opportunity for us. Second home. The prices in Florida are not going to be this cheap again. Like, hey, if you wanted to get that second home in Disney because you like to go to Disney once a year or twice a year and you like to fly there and so do other people and you want to Airbnb the heck out of it, go do it. There's an opportunity there. You might not make exactly what you want to make on it right away. But in time, it's going to pay for itself and then some. It's going to pay for your trip when you go down there, right? So this is why Orlando's still a hot spot because of the theme parks. I mean, heck, I
Mhm.
go at least once a quarter. I drive 3.5 hours up to Disney with my daughter. We go because we have annual passes. Why not? And my husband's like, "You're going to Disney again?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sit by the pool. I should have a second home up there. And I'm gonna like, I explore the different Disney resorts and see which ones we like and what ones we can get a good deal at. But hey, there's a lot of people who can't afford that and they want to go with an Airbnb because they have a large family. And it's a once in a lifetime trip for them because, they got to get 6 people on a plane and there's opportunity. So I look at this as huge opportunity right now. The heck with interest rates, because interest rates don't even matter on a second home for what they are because it's going to be higher anyways. It's not going to be lower. So it's like, what is the income producing stream going to look like for you? And are you going to be in the green? And how do you build that multi-generational wealth? And Melissa wrote, put it into Claude to help you. Absolutely. Put it in. Claude's awesome. How many of you are using Claude? All right.
I do.
Mhm. All right. We went over a little bit today, once again. Um, what else? Thoughts, comments, ahas? Anyone? Switch my screen.
I do have a question. Yesterday at the end of the webinar, or there was something that you were going to talk about today. And you said, we're going to cover that tomorrow. And I was like so excited, but I was looking at my notes and I didn't write down what it was. Do you remember what that was?
She is not here.
Oh, okay. So it was somebody who
Yeah,
asked a question.
her
You
question.
mentioned that at the beginning.
Yeah, she's not here. And it was on, I'm going to all of these networking events and it's not converting for me.
Okay,
And
that's
so
right.
I would like for her to be here. I'm going to ask her next week if she can come. Maybe she got tied up today. And I want to make sure that she's here. But at the same point in time, that is something that is very important. And just know you leave a networking event with the intention that you set foot with it before you got there. So if you don't have an intention, you're going to leave with nothing. And I have learned that from when I was in senior living before. And I just spoke with one of the new home health folks who transitioned from being an RN to a marketer. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to all these happy hours like 4 days a week. And she's like, oh my gosh, everybody just likes to party and it's crazy. And I go, stop going to damn happy hours. I'm like, are you getting any business from it? She's like, no. I'm like, you have no intention. You're going to just, I always say kibitz, but you're just going to chat with people. It's not moving the needle for you. And your corporate office gives you a budget and they're going to start getting pissed off if that's not converting to leads. So just something to think about. All right. So one more thing, and then we're going to head out. If you want to be part of the partnership overview call, it is July 22nd at 10:30 a.m. It's going to be right after this call on July 22nd. We have a guest speaker on July 22nd as well. So we're going to start that meeting a little bit early so that we can accommodate everything. And it is about partnering with me, co-sponsoring, and how you can accelerate growth, support systems and amazing opportunities, and how you can get resources like the Senior Blueprint Bundle, the referral map, monthly coaching sessions, entourage resources from Girls with Grit, EXP resources, and so much more as part of partnering with us. So that, if you're interested in it, that will be going out to register. Just want to loop everyone in. And other than that, reach out to me with questions. Nicole, I'm going to get that updated today because it will be updated for everyone. And then you can edit it with your link. because the counties are really helpful. Some people just don't know the cities. And some of y'all cities are like, ooh, super long. And for those of you who are licensed in 2 states, it's going to be broken down by state because I don't know where one state begins and one state ends. So how would a consumer, right? Because they're going to be like, I don't know what all these cities are. So we're going to just break that down. So it's always changing and improving and getting better. All right. Thank you all for joining today. Have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
Thank you, Felicia.
Bye.
Thank you.